Good morning. It's Queen Amina. How are you? I'm about to start working. However, I saw something yesterday that made me say this is something that we all need to see. This is something that we all need to watch. So you will not be seeing me per se today at this moment. You will be watching something that I decided everyone should be watching. And then later today, I will have another link going on, and I will be going live later. But right now, this video from this Caucasian officer is something that I would like everyone to see. This is something that I would like you to share. This is something that you all need to take a good look at and fully understand what he's saying. Okay? So bear with me.
Hustle 411 keeping your ear to the streets. It's your girl Jamisha Trice, and we are
Bear
here
with me a second. I'm trying to get it started.
2014. I have the pleasure of having
Ear hustle all day, baby.
an awesome guest with me. He is a husband. He is a preacher.
Bear with me. That was not the video. Not sure why that came on first. But I'm going to show you guys the video. I'm going to let you guys watch it and listen to it. So. Bear with me. Now, I thought it would just play. But apparently it's not going to just play. So work with me. And now, I need everybody to watch this video.
Hey friends, and well, let me be honest, probably before this video is over, some of you will consider me as an enemy. But I wanted to share a couple minutes about my thoughts, not only on the tragedies that we have been experiencing over these past months, and especially these last couple of days with the shootings of our black men, but what I'm coming to learn over my 23-year journey of being a white man, living and ministering amongst my black family here in several inner cities of Chicago. And I'm going to speak very black and white because, let's be honest, it's a black and white issue. I want to take you to the book of Exodus, chapter 1, and I wanted to share a little bit of what took place prior to the rise of Moses. When I read that, it talked about that the Pharaoh became concerned and very fearful that the Hebrew slaves were growing in number and in power. So in order to maintain their oppression, he put upon them great labor. He put upon the Hebrew slaves cruelty to keep them down. However, they still grew. And so he brought together some midwives, and he instructed them that when a Hebrew boy was born, kill him. Well, these midwives did not follow, and the Hebrew slaves continued to grow. Eventually, the Pharaoh became so hatred and towards those Hebrew slaves that he made a decree. He put out an order that male baby boy Hebrew slaves were to be killed by casting them into the Nile River. Let's look at America. We brought blacks into this country as slaves. We never intended them to be anything other than a slave. But they began to grow in number and in power, and eventually they fought their way to some freedom. So we became even more cruel, and to keep our black Americans down, we lynched. But yet they rose. So then we used the welfare system, the criminal justice system, to keep them down, to contain them, to destroy them. But yet They rose and they're rising. Then we built prisons and jails to hold them. Yet they rose. And so now we are doing exactly what the Pharaoh did at the end, sending out a decree, kill them. So until we admit that when we wrote this Constitution that all men are created equal, that we never intended to include our black brothers and sisters, our nation may end up facing exactly what the Egyptians faced when they refused to let God's people go. So I'm going to say this to my white fellow Americans, that the bloodshed that is on its way is not on the hands of our fellow black Americans, but is on our hands. We are the ones that are refusing to let God's people go. We are the ones that are refusing to acknowledge that we do not value our black brothers and sisters as equal individuals or equal Americans as us white men. And to my black brothers and sisters, the racial issues, as I've said, have been there from the very foundation. But why do we see it more? Because there's a shifting. See, us white men have been at the head since the foundation. But we've had a black president. And you know, we've done everything in our power to keep him from really changing things. Now we have another minority rising to the top, a white female. What does that say? Those of us who are white men who have been at the head are now starting to see and fear that we are going to become the tail. And we know what we've done to you. And so now we're fearful that you're going to do to us what we have done to you. But I will say this. I've lived in a black community for 23 years. I've never been treated the way that this country has treated my black Americans. So I call out my white Americans to say we better heed, repent, acknowledge, and change. Because if we don't, I just want to again say this. The bloodshed that we will experience is on our hands, not the hands of our fellow black Americans.
I truly felt the need to, I shared this a million times, I watched it a million times, and I felt the need, the desire.
Again, that's
Studio2911.org. If you want to hear more from him, Studio2911.org. Listen, I heard this man, I heard this yesterday.
We have taught, acknowledge our value system of equality.
Exactly.
It is not here, and it does not include our black brothers and sisters. And we need to change, and we need to change now. Thanks for your time.
Check him out. Studio2911.org. I'm going to go on there a little bit later. Listen, tonight I'm actually going to go live on my poetry show. We're going to address the issues. We're going to address a lot of powerful poetry. We're going to actually address solutions. I really don't want to truly continue to discuss the issues because we know what they are. The issues are the fact that white American officers are not being held accountable for slaying us. And my condolences to the Mr. Avail's family, who was shot 10 times with his hands in the air, spinning around in the middle of the street by order of an officer. And he was still slain, unarmed. And this happened about 3-4 days ago. So again, I want to send a condolence out to the family. and say, prayers are with you. Prayers are with you. And like this gentleman just said, change is going to come. It's not going to come easy, but it's going to come. This is the end of a civil rights war. The civil rights war started with Martin Luther King, and it's ending with us because we've been in it, because we've never had a resolution. And y'all, like I said, y'all been acting a little bit crazy, and y'all haven't been worried about a resolution because y'all, so let me sleep outside the Jordan store. Let me go buy every Michael Kors. Let me get every weave I can. Blue eyes, new nails, whatever. Listen, stop it, y'all. Put y'all money in a savings. Get in these streets and protest. Boycott. Nobody eat at Chick-fil-A. This is my official decree. Nobody eat at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has made a formal statement. Fuck the black people. They worried about their police. And I'm going to tell you like this. Your police officers are police officers 40 hours a week with some overtime. We are black 365, 24/7, okay? We want to live Chick-fil-A, and now you won't have the black money. Let's see how you feel about that. Black people, I'm serious. Non-racist people, I'm serious. People who want equality, I'm serious. Do not eat at Chick-fil-A. They need to start filling these things in their pockets. Again, I'm going to have this show, my poetry show is going to be live tonight on this YouTube. Please check out this man, studio2911.org. Check me out, Queen Amina, on everything. Poetess Queen Amina on Facebook. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I love you. I don't know why this video is cut off before I get a chance to finish, but tune in to me. Thank you.